using trig again, and we're going to be finding a missing angle now. So in the last lesson, we actually used our trig ratios to find a missing side. And so now we're going to be using it to find a missing angle if we need to find those. So let's look into that. Okay, so again, we're going to be using those trig ratios again. So remember, sine is the opposite over the hypotenuse. The cosine is going to be the adjacent over the hypotenuse. And then the tangent is going to be the opposite over the adjacent. So the same information we've been working with. And so today what we're going to be focusing on is we're going to be focusing on finding the angle. So right now in this instance, if you look at my theta symbol, all written here, is where you normally put that angle. So what's going to happen is you're going to find the ratio, and then whenever you end up getting your ratio, you're going to have to do something called the inverse. So whenever I end up writing the sine, cosine, or tangent, sine with a -1, cosine with a -1, and tangent with a -1, that all means I'm doing the inverse of that, meaning I'm using it to find the angle. So right now, I'm going to be using the -1 symbol up there to end up finding the angle, and I'll actually show you how to type that in your calculator as well. So let's jump over to example number 1. All right, so on example number 1, it says, using trig ratios, we need to find the missing angle to the nearest degree. So right now in this instance, they're giving me my question mark here. So this is going to be my reference angle, okay? So now let's look at the angles that they've given me. So from this angle, opposite my 90-degree angle is always going to be my hypotenuse. Opposite of my reference angle is going to be the opposite side. And then over here is obviously going to be my adjacent side. So right now they've given me my opposite side and they've given me my hypotenuse. So what that means is I'm going to be using the sine ratio. So the sine of my question mark angle, that's what I'm trying to find, is going to be equal to the opposite over the hypotenuse, which is 39 over 44. So right now I need to figure out what that angle is, and I'm going to use the inverse of sine. So whether you're using one of the Inspire calculators or if you're using Desmos, you need to find the symbol that has sin raised to the -1 power. And whenever you type that in, it's going to give you a set of parentheses. And all you need to do is stick the ratio in that parenthesis. So the sine of -1 parentheses 39 over 44. And so when you type that in the calculator and click enter, it's going to end up giving you that angle measurement. And so here it says to the nearest degree. So I'm going to do trig, sine to the -1, and I'm going to do 39 over 44. And when I click enter, it should give you 62.41 or 62.42. And what it's asking here is to the nearest degree. So the 4 would not change the 2. So your final answer here would be about 62 degrees. So again, inverse of sine, put that in the calculator and it should give you the measurement or the degree, okay? I think on Desmos, if you actually click, whenever you go to do the Desmos scientific calculator, you'll have to click the function button and then you should be able to see the inverses in there, okay? Let's jump over to example number 2. Okay, so on example number 2, it says, using the trig ratios, we need to find the missing angle to the nearest degree. So right now, if I look, this is my given angle, or the angle they want me to find. That's my reference angle. So I know opposite of my 90-degree angle is always going to be my hypotenuse. Opposite of my reference angle is going to be the opposite side. And then the third side that I did not label is my adjacent side. So right now, if I look, they've given me my hypotenuse. They've given me my adjacent side. So adjacent and hypotenuse is going to be the cosine ratio. So I'm going to do the cosine of my given angle is equal to the adjacent over the hypotenuse, which is 36. So right now, ladies and gentlemen, again, I'm trying to find my angle. So I'm going to do the inverse of that ratio. So I'm going to do cosine raised to the -1 power. And when I click that on my calculator, it's going to give you a set of parentheses again. And I'm going to put my ratio in that parenthesis right there. And so whenever I do trig cosine -1, So trig cosine -1, and then I'm going to do 24 over 36. And when I click enter, that should give me 48.18. And it asks to round to the nearest degree. The 1 would not change the 8, so your final answer would be about 48 degrees would be your answer. Okay? Let's jump over to example number 3. Okay? On example number 3, we're doing the same thing again. I'm trying to find my missing angle again. So right here it says, using the trig ratio, we need to find the missing angle to the nearest degree. So again, this is my reference angle they're giving me. Opposite the 90 is my hypotenuse. Opposite my angle they want is going to be the opposite side. And then the third side is obviously going to be my adjacent side. So right now they've given me my opposite side. They've given me my adjacent side. So that means I'm going to be using the tangent ratio here. So the tangent of my question mark here is going to be equal to the opposite over the adjacent. So 13 over 16. And again, I'm trying to find my angle. So that means I have to use the inverse of tangent. And whenever I type that in the calculator, it's going to give you parentheses, and you're going to put that ratio straight into those parentheses and click enter. So tangent raised to the -1 power, or inverse of tangent. And then in those parentheses, you're going to do 13 over 16. And the answer that comes out is going to be 39.09. And then the 0 would not change the 39, so my final answer would be about 39 degrees. All right, and then lastly, guys, as always, you have your challenge question. This challenge question is always a determination on if you're ready to move on or not. Do the challenge question. If you can do it easily, you're ready to go to your skill check. If you're having trouble with it, call me over. I can help you out a little bit. Other than that, good luck on your skill check. Let me know if you need any help.